or to just give me a boost of energy before lunchtime. So some people carb load as their first meal. I no longer carb load as my first meal. I would rather run more on protein in my first meal and electrolyte water and tea and juice. I would rather have that in my first meal. I actually have my extra supporting energy like carbs. And my topping here, I normally have that before lunch. So I have two pieces of bread here. This bread is super low in fat. It's like only 1 gram of fat per slice of bread. The carbs is like 56 grams per slice, I think, or every 2 slices. I will check it. The average human body thrives when it has about 135 grams of carbs a day. Okay, that would be like the DASH diet. So I try to get very close to that mark, as close as I can get. So this will be with the carrots here, being 9 grams of carbs. So we're going to look up the carbs, but I know that it is not that high. Okay, so now we have this no sugar added apple butter. So I'm going to put that on my bread for flavoring. Okay. So you can have any type of carby food. Just make sure it has super low fat and there's not a lot of sugar in it. Like it shouldn't be over 10 grams of sugar in your carbs. So this can of carrots is only 9 grams. Once it get up into like 20 or 15 grams of sugar per type of carbs, then you pretty much ate a double serving of that carb because carbs turn into sugar anyway. So we're going to look at the bread. I'm going to put that down for a minute, y'all. For people who are just coming in, this is my topping. I put on my bread. It's no sugar added. And I might put some cinnamon on there as well. Then carrots. Now, Marilyn Monroe, she liked to eat only carrots. But I find that you can actually have carrots with the grainy type carbs because they're still in the same family, like vegetables. They're not such a crossover to meat. So we know that apples grow sometimes on farms where there is grain. So apple butter goes well actually on anything that's grainy. Okay. So this is whole grain bread, not wheat. Wheat tends to actually help, like it tends to make your body want to store fat. It's a gainer. So if you're trying to get like really ripped, of course you would do wheat bread. But whole grain is better for certain blood types, especially for mine. Okay, so we're going to look at the bread package for that. We're going to look, because remember, we always check the packages before we eat. Don't just sit down and assume you know because it tastes good. You have to micromanage your macros. Okay, so we're going to look at this bread here. So what we see here is carbs. That's the first thing we want to look at per serving. A lot of people don't look at per serving. So 26 grams, that would be per slice of bread. Per slice. So 26 and 26 will give us about 52 grams of carbs. That is good. That actually gives us an additional 52 carbs to 65 carbs that we can eat in the same day. The human body thrives off about 135 grams of carbs a day. That's why the DASH diet is highly recommended by doctors. So this is pretty much is only going to give me, because this is my carb load meal that I have between my first meal and lunch. often if your carb count is too high, you will fail on your diet that day. Okay, your cortisol is going to stay too high, and your body is going to like start to really just stop burning fat because you ate way too many carbs. Remember, carbs turn into sugar. So always remember, when you're eating carbs, you're actually eating sugar. It's no different. So there's 9 grams of carbs in this container here. So the 52 plus the 9, okay, that will give us, at least we're going to round it up, 65 grams of carbs in this meal. 65. Now this probably has only maybe a couple of carbs per tablespoon. So we're going to round it up to 80 grams of carbs in this meal, which leaves me with 50 grams of carbs I can have with my dinner. Okay? With my dinner, I'll still be able to have at least 50 grams of carbs with my dinner. So now, if you're somebody that just want to keep their carbs low and replace the carbs with fruit, then you can have fruit for the 50 grams of carbs you would normally get, for the 50 grams of carbs you would normally get. So instead of having 50 grams of carbs on your last meal, you would just replace it with fruit. Okay, I'm talking about grain carbs. So on your last meal, let's say you have more carrots. Okay, you can actually pretty much have, as I would be able to have actually 50 grams of carbs. I would actually have to be able to have a lot more carrots with my dinner. Now, I know people are saying, but what about the carbs in your breakfast? That is what we're going to talk about. Okay. With my breakfast, I do protein and electrolyte water only. If I do have anything on the side, it will be juice or something of that nature. I don't actually have carbs on my first meal. Believe it or not, protein, if you give it some time to process in your body, it actually works as if you had carbs. It gives you the same energy boost. You just got to be patient with the protein being broken down in your body. So my main focus on my first meal is protein. I try to make sure there's at least 40 grams of protein. And I pretty much, the rest of it is pretty much hydration on my first meal. But this is my meal between my breakfast and lunch. Okay. Now the calorie count is so low, it's like ridiculous. It's only about, it's really low. It's only about 400 calories. Okay. It may sound like a lot, but it's not. Because my breakfast was mostly protein, fruit, and electrolyte water. See what I'm saying? So my first meal was literally only, my first meal was like no more than 500 or 600 calories. So this meal is 400 calories. See? So that's a 900 calorie meal by before lunch. So at lunchtime, I still have room for another small meal, and I have room for another small meal for dinner. This is how I eat as a middle-aged woman. Because middle-aged women need to eat small meals. We can't cram all the food groups in our stomach anymore. We have to break the meals up. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You got to watch the beginning of the video, Cockney. This is a carb loading meal. That's why there's carbs in here. This is a carb loading meal. I already did the carb count. Okay, I already did the carb count for the bread. You missed it because you just came in. The carb count for the bread is like 52 total. 52 grams of carbs. 9 grams of carbs for the carrots. Remember, the human body really prefers at least 130 grams of carbs a day. And I know this for a fact because my nutritionist doctor literally gave me the DASH diet and everything and told me, like, have a time where you're eating your carbs and you're trying to get that 3 to 4 servings in. Okay. So, um, this is actually about 3 servings of carbs. That's what you're seeing. So I'm adding apple butter, sugar-free apple butter on the bread. Now, and of course, you can actually add some weight. Okay. Yeah, no. Please let me finish. Let me teach. It has to be between, I'm not done. I'm not done teaching. It has to be between breakfast and lunch. And I will explain why. Okay. Most of the carbs that you take for the day should be before 3 p.m. because you want to be able to, those carbs to serve you most of your day. You don't want to have to like eat extra snacks between lunch and dinner. You want those carbs to be like to keep you going all day. So by like 11 a.m., you probably should be carb loading already. So I don't recommend spiking cortisol on your first meal. So don't carb load on your first meal. Find a way to keep your cortisol low and stay in it and try to stay in ketosis an extra 2 hours. You can eat protein. You can eat meat and stay in ketosis. You can drink keto-friendly electrolyte water. You can make your own homemade snake juice and stay in ketosis. So for me, I've been in ketosis a pretty long time without even breaking a sweat, without even working hard to do it. I've been in ketosis since literally the afternoon. My stomach has been growling since late afternoon yesterday. So growling is a sign like ketosis is happening. So it was around like I think 3 p.m. that I started going in ketosis. I'm still in ketosis as I'm talking to you. Okay. I'm a male, 60 male. Oh, okay. Talk me. All right. Where my men at? Help us sis out. Y'all been cutting up. I don't know what's up with me. I've been like high energy, but I know it's because I separated my carbs. You have to separate your fruit and your carbs from your meat. You've been taught wrong. Okay. This is what I'm trying to tell women. Only carbs you can have with your meat has to be like rabbit carbs, like this, in a small amount. You don't want your carb energy competing with your protein energy. So pick a dominant energy per meal. So notice I have apple butter. I don't have like a whole apple sitting here. I don't have like 2 apples sitting here. Okay. So this is going to give me a boost and let me make it till lunchtime. But I'm still going to have plenty of energy even when I get to lunch. Now, if some of y'all have been running down y'all energy so early in the morning, then you just want to increase your carb intake in that carb loading meal. So believe it or not, the highest you can get your carbs to 135 grams in the morning hours is better for you. The last thing you want is to have high carbs in your body so late in the evening, because then you'll have a delay in getting in ketosis. So it's better to get that the highest amount close to 135 grams and get it in between breakfast and lunch. So I can actually, if I wanted to, I can actually add an extra piece of bread, because that will only give me no more than 80 grams of carbs total from the bread. And then with the carrots, 9, okay, I would be like 90 grams of carbs. See what I'm saying? And then if we count the apple butter, 2 tablespoons, I would have had 100 grams of carbs overall if I added another piece of bread. This means at dinner, I could actually have another 35 grams of carbs at dinner. It may look like, oh, you're eating a bunch of carbs, that's too much. It's actually not. 135 grams is good. If you're not overdoing it with the fruit and the sugar, sugar intake. So I prefer to get most of my sugary energy from my carb loading meal. So in the evening hours at night, I may have a glass of wine. Okay. What does it matter if it's processed food? Please shut up. Like when people talk bad about processed food, you're actually offending people who can't afford the food you got. Believe it or not, eating cheap will actually save you money and you will lose weight. Okay? Show some gratitude. When you're losing weight, you really don't need to be eating expensive food. Okay? Okay, we're not getting into this. Your body could already be acidic. Raw onions is acidic. Tomatoes is acidic. Why are you eating tomatoes and onions? So if you're going to complain about acidic processed food, please stop eating onions, tomatoes, spinach, leafy vegetables. All of those have toxins in it. So all of those vegetables have toxins in them. Okay? We're going to put you in timeout. So you'll learn to listen more. People have problems listening at 11 o'clock a.m. They just jump online looking for videos to prove their intelligence. Get over your mental narcissism. Everybody knows this is not the most organic food, but food is better than no food. Like some of this is what all somebody could afford. Cole Robinson talk about that. Poor man's diet. When you're trying to lose weight, don't be afraid to shop cheap. Okay. So, see, this is the problem when you share your process. The world is so toxic that people want to critique it while getting free information. Like I'm not getting paid to do this video. I don't really get paid on this channel anymore. So just show some gratitude. All right. So, believe it or not, all I had this morning was literally a pork chop that my family member baked. I had a pork chop, green tea, lemon water with baking soda and ginger. And that's pretty much all I had. So I'm still in ketosis. I've been in ketosis since mid-late afternoon yesterday. The thing is you don't need to fast in the morning. You need to stay in ketosis. So try to stay in ketosis until you're going to break your ketosis with carbs. Okay? So you want to break your ketosis with carbs. All right. Or you could break your ketosis with buttery, coffee with a little bit of sugar in there. Now, everyone's saying, but I don't see no butter on this. What about the fat intake? When you eat meat always has a little bit of fat in it. So it's going to curb your hunger when you eat meat as a first meal. Now, there is fat in this. Apple butter still has some fat in it. There is 1 gram of fat per bread. You want to keep your fat intake low. Because as Dorian writers say, the fat you eat is the fat you wear. So it's not just about not eating over your calorie maintenance and not storing fat. You don't want to increase the fat intake as well. So you want your body to have such little fat intake that it runs to eat its own fat. That it has no choice because you only put a little bit of fat in there. You put enough fat in there to calm your hunger. I figured out that for me, 10 grams of fat is enough to calm my hunger and have the food taste good. Like I don't need more than 15 grams of fat a day. 10 grams of fat on my carb meal. I know that you got to keep your fat intake low on your carbs, on your carby meal. Don't go buck wild with the butter on there. because it could cause fatigue. You're loading your body up with carbs, which turn into sugar, and then you put all that fat on the bread too. So just because apple butter tastes good, don't mean you go buck wild. You stick to the to the thing. So you just put 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon per bread. By the end of my meal, I'm probably going to have close to 10 grams of fat in this meal, which definitely will curb my hunger to lunchtime and a little bit after lunchtime. See what I'm saying? Like my hunger will be very low or gone most of my day. The body don't want more than 30 grams of fat. So if you can keep it under 20, you're ahead of the game in your weight loss goal. Okay? So you're actually doing pretty good that day if you can keep it under 20, under 25 grams of fat a day. Okay, so I help y'all out. Now, of course, I can still have my electrolyte water. See? Now, what's in this bottle is actually lemon and baby electrolyte water. I know that's like wild to be like baby electrolyte water. I'm going to show y'all what I put in here. Okay? Now, I like to do water, eat, water, eat, water, eat. Hydrate, eat, hydrate, eat, hydrate, eat. So, I think this is baby electrolyte or whatever. But here is the electrolyte I have in the bottle. And I got this at DG. Okay? So I pretty much put a shot of it in my water. Now, I will eat this, and then I'll sit there for a little bit, at least about 15 minutes after. No more than 10 minutes after I eat the food, I will then begin to drink my drink. Unless I want to drink half the drink first, wait about 10 minutes, then have my meal, and then wait 10 minutes and have the rest of the drink. See, like 1 cup, 1 cup. Okay? All right. I find that doing it this way keeps the meal interesting. I know that Marilyn Monroe, she only ate like a whole bunch of carrots. I'm like, that's too boring for me. I can't take it. So I have carrots, apple butter, bread. Now, for some people, it's like carrots taste so plain or whatever. You can put your own toppings, but it has to be very low fat toppings on your carrots. You're better off just eating some seasoned carrots. Like, you're better off just so you don't mess up your macros. You don't risk messing up your macros when you have them right. Okay. Now, also with this meal, I always take my 1-a-day vitamin. I also take, where's it at? Sorry, y'all. Can't find other vitamins. Give me a minute. I also take my MSM vitamin. My MSM vitamin. 2 of those. Now today I'm taking, now I always take my iron. I always take this. Okay? My doctor said to always take that at my age. It might change your life. So, and then today I'm taking my arginine, which I told y'all about, because I'm working out today. So I'm going to take my arginine with this meal too, because I was working out already. I worked out. I know that's crazy. Like, well, you was working out and you didn't have no carbs yet. Protein acts like energy in your body if you give it a chance. So when you have your like morning electrolyte water and your morning tea and your morning snake juice and your morning tea, and you have your protein, and you wait about an hour and your body goes to the bathroom or whatever, and you went for a walk and all that, you'll notice that suddenly like you get a burst of energy. And then you use that energy to work out. Some people they will have their carbs before their first workout. It's important to create a synchronicity of workouts. So your first meal, your first workout should not be done with high carbs. Your first workout is better done with high protein. Like 40 grams of protein, snake juice and tea, or black coffee. And then you'll be in ketosis. Okay? So then you'll be able to get that workout in while you're still in ketosis and have extra growth hormone benefits because you're in ketosis. Okay, you're not going to get too much like really human growth hormones working out, after you've had a high carb diet. Protein helps you to stay young looking and reverse aging. So when you work out with only protein in your system, you're you've cracked the code for reversing aging probably faster than other people. When you work out with just protein and snake juice and keto-friendly juice in your body and tea, you're working out while you're in autophagy. You're working out while you're putting in things that can boost human growth hormone and while keeping you in ketosis. So the workout is extra beneficial. So I don't work out with the high carbs in me in my first meal. That's why it's my second meal. That's why this is my meal between my breakfast and my lunch. Okay. Now, what's going to be beneficial about this is that I'm going to be able to do another 10-minute workout. Because I broke my ketosis, I'll be able to do another 10, 20-minute workout, a long walk, because I broke my ketosis with stuff that actually give you energy. So there's no point in breaking your ketosis if you're not breaking it with food that gives you energy. So I break my ketosis with my vitamins and carbs. Okay? I'm not waking up like, oh, I'm just not going to eat for 2 hours. That's unnecessary. Just do keto. Just make your first meal keto friendly. That's all. You're going to stay in ketosis, though different, pretty much very close to if you didn't eat. Okay? Your keto friendly morning meal is actually going to give you autophagy benefits while you're still in a fat burning stage. So don't wake up and be like, oh, I'm trying to just drink snake juice only for 2 hours because I want to burn belly fat. Just do keto. You don't got to do keto all day. The morning hours, first few hours is really good for keto. All right. Okay. Bye, everybody. As I said, anybody that calls me sir or man, you're kicked out. We're not even discussing it. I don't sound like a man, so don't call me sir. You're kicked out. We're not talking. My spiritual team on the other side said I have to be ruthless with kicking people out my energy this week. No discussion. The slightest cross of my boundaries, you're out without any discussion. Okay, y'all. I hope this helped. Now, of course, there's, you can add some other very low calorie fruit that will give you energy. You can do that too. But you still got to remember that carbs turn into sugar and fruit with the glucose. You want to be careful of giving yourself insulin resistance. So just don't do it. Just don't overdo it. That's why I only got apple butter here and electrolyte water that I made. See? Hydration. All right, replay the video if you enjoyed it. This is an example of my middle meal between breakfast and lunch, my poor man's meal. Even though this is not cheap, this is not cheap. Monticello is not a cheap place. So it is it is a semi expensive meal. All right, if you feel like you learned something from this video, feel free to let me know. Now, of course, it'll be like at least 2-3 hours before I have my lunch. Now, lunch is pretty optional when you have carb loaded. Lunch is something that you have only if you like, oh, my energy is getting really low. I burned up my carbs too fast. I burned up my carb energy too fast. Then I'm going to have lunch. So really, you're better off like energy loading. Energy loading until dinner. Load the lowest calories of energy building in your body until your last meal. So my last meal is going to actually be cod, a little bit of greens, a little bit of carrots, and some red wine. That's going to be my last meal. Lunch is optional. If I'm hydrating and drinking electrolyte water and just kind of juice fasting for lunch, then there's no need for me to actually have an actual lunch meal. So your lunch could just be an energy meal, like where you're just like having a fruit salad and some electrolyte water. You're just trying to get your energy to stay up until dinner. That's the trick. Like you can use lunchtime, your lunch meal, as energy boosting meal. But if my second meal is between my breakfast and my lunch, if my second meal, I didn't waste the energy of my carbs. I didn't waste it so fast. Then I might just only have a fruit salad for lunch. Okay, a fruit salad and maybe even a little bit of carrots, a wee bit of carrots for a little energy boost, and some tea or some electrolyte water. Gatorade. What that's going to do is give me like a very low calorie lunch meal. Will be like 200-300 calories. And then, by my energy being up, I'm going to be using it. I'll be able to get 2 short workouts in plus 2 walks in with this diet. And then that means that I'll have at least 400-500 calories I can eat for my dinner. So a piece of cod, some spinach, some carrots, and some table wine. That will put me at about 500 calories at the most, which is perfect. So that means my calorie intake for the day would be, let's count it, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. My calorie intake would be 1,700 calories, but that is not what I'll be ending with. I'm going to have burned at least 200 calories today because the energy being high through the day. So when I go to bed, I'm going to be going to bed with 1,400 calories in my body, not feeling hungry and not feeling weak. I may actually end up still being up doing a workout before I go to bed. Like last night, I ate pretty much like this, and my energy was up so long that I didn't even have to eat dinner. It was like, nah, I'm good. I don't even want no dinner. My energy was up. So the amount of protein that I have as my meal at breakfast, I had about 7 ounces of pork chop yesterday and this morning. So I like to round it up. I would say that that's at least 500 calories from that pork chop. Okay. So notice you don't really hear me saying I had anything on the side, because once you get it like 40, 50 calories of protein, your body is energized. Like you really don't need all the additional vegetables on your plate. And vegetables can actually make you sluggish. So that's why I try to avoid putting vegetables on my first meal. So it's like I just like all about the protein and hydration on my first meal. All about my electrolytes, hydration, and protein. That is it. No inflammation, no sluggishness, no fatigue, no none of that because I didn't have no vegetables. Hi everybody. All right. So if you're into like poor man's hydration, this is a poor man's hydration. This right here. Okay, will save you money. Go up to DG and you can have this Pure Kick strawberry ice pop hydration. You can have it between your lunch and dinner. Okay, like a whole bottle of it. Now this is gonna sound gross. If you can, your morning meal, your first 2 hours of your day, you should be having a big bowel movement. Like it's important to get the processed toxins that your body processes in your sleep. It's important to get as much of them out. The bowel that your body wants out. It's important to get a lot of it out early in your day so that your gut health is better, stomach is better, your bowels is better. So you're most likely are not going to have cravings for extra carbs because your toxin community is low. Okay, it's a low amount of toxins because you had a huge bowel movement. So consider having you a saltwater flush. At least I have 2 cups. Whether I eat that day or not, I do a salt water. I do a baking soda, lemon, and water flush, and green tea because green tea do make you go to the bathroom. And it's like I just want to have a big bowel movement by 11 a.m. so that I'm like extra mindful. My hunger hormone doesn't go buck wild. It's not influenced by toxins. So get up and say, I gotta have my bowel movement by 11 a.m. Seriously, like that's one of your goals. Like I need to blow up the toilet before 11 a.m. If I don't, I'm probably going to like eat stuff for lunch I'm not supposed to, like ice cream. The toxins is going to, because the fat, there's fat in your poo. That's what your liver and your body is pushing out of you. Backed up fat in your bowel as well. And that fat has like toxins in it. And it's influencing your hunger hormones, increasing the strength of your hunger hormone. So getting a lot of bowel out of you in the morning hours is really good. Like you may even want to be like, let me see if I can stock up some enemas. If you're on a weight loss journey, don't be afraid to do a couple of enemas every week, in the morning before you eat anything. Just like go in the bathroom and do an enema. um, get it out so that it's not, that old poo that's in there, backed in there all night. It's not like, it's not going to give you fatigue and sluggish feeling. Because when you get fatigue and sluggish feeling, it make you think that your energy low and then you eat more food. So try to, keep the sluggish feeling away. Get rid of anything to make you sluggish. If leafy vegetables, onions, tomatoes make you sluggish or make your body hurt, just stop eating them. Like, it's not about whether it tastes good. It's about how it makes you physically feel. So, you won't catch me ever eating a tomato or an onion or like kale, like collard greens. Like, no. I can feel now where my blockages were in my body. I can feel like my body is trying to purge itself in different parts. It wasn't doing that because the toxins of the vegetables, the natural toxins in vegetables, was causing inflammation. It was keeping my body from being able to do the work. So, yeah. Stop eating because stop just eating food because it tastes good. Like, within an hour after you eat it, like, how do you actually feel? Like, I notice for me, if I eat like really spicy food and it's like a big old hearty salad, I wake up the next day and I'm swollen. Or my joints and bones hurt, muscle aches. And it's like, no, um, when in doubt, go have some fruit. Like, that's what I say. When in doubt, if you're like, I don't know why this energy so low, and it's not mealtime, go have you some potassium, a banana, or something that actually give you energy, like some pineapples. But just try to like take everything off your shopping list that is acidic or toxic. And believe it or not, leafy vegetables are toxic. You can wash them all you want. They fight back when they're being digested. So, hey, believe it or not, you don't need vegetables to go to the bathroom. Meat will also make you go to the bathroom. Fruit will make you go to the bathroom. So people say eat spinach to make you go to the bathroom, to get you to go to the bathroom. You don't need it. Like, fruit will make you go to the bathroom. Certain fruit. Okay. No, eat fruit. But the fruit that you eat, it needs to be superfood fruit. It needs to be fruit that will actually give you energy. All other fruit is a waste of your money and time. All other fruit is basically candy fruit. So go to the top listed fruits that give you energy. Apples give you energy. Bananas actually is really good for energy and muscles, potassium. If your potassium is so low, you will be low energy. Your legs will be weak. So pineapples, potassium, which is bananas, and apples. Cranberries also give you energy. So yeah, when in doubt, you like my energy a little bit low. Eat a small handful of cranberries. What I used to do back in the day when my energy got low, I would like drink from my jug of cranberry juice. I used to carry a jug of cranberry juice around with me. There was a friend of mine who I guess they were like trying to stay skinny. So they would literally drink, y'all, no lie, like baking soda water or gargle with peroxide several times a day. They believed that their mouth health would affect their diet. And they've always been like super skinny. But they were like detoxing their mouth like all day. And now I understand what they did, because your mouth can hold the toxins in and influence your diet choices. So they wanted to stay lean because I think they were thinking about getting a model in, and they was into fashion. Hi, everybody. Okay. All right, I'm getting ready to go, everybody. I'll see y'all later. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. All my videos this week will end up being for members only. And it will be for a fee for replay. So make sure that y'all are watching these videos. Because after Halloween, all the videos I did over the last 7 days, they're not going to be available for free on replay. I'm finishing my shift. So because I'm not making a profit from the channel anymore, I'm pretty much about to have my last YouTube check, which is very, very small. And most of my money actually comes through my private banking account. There's no reason for me to leave my abundant videos up for the public. So the videos I've been doing over the last week are very abundant. So I want to make sure before I start purging the channel, my members get to watch those videos, the replays, and the people who donated get to see the replays. I told y'all earlier this year that this channel will be being purged. A lot of the videos will be hidden because I will not be focusing on this channel anymore. I gave it another year just to see if it will turn around. But a year is enough time, like Jim Rohn say. If things don't turn around in a year, don't put a lot of your energy into it. If you don't even see any progress at all, then pack your bags. Okay? So I'm starting a different channel, but my channel is going to be niched down. This channel was not niched down. And I think that's why I went wrong. Plus, I put a lot of shorts up. So I'm going to be starting a new channel, doing a new channel that's completely niched down. I'm not putting any shorts on the video, on the channel. So I won't be posting the link to the channel. It'll be by invitation only, or if you happen to find the channel. I already did a video for the channel. I may eventually move this video to my new channel, since it is sort of like a lifestyle channel as well. All right, bye everybody. See y'all later. No, please stop telling people carnivore. Nobody needs to do carnivore diet. No. Okay? No. Because too much protein can still become a problem. Okay? The carnivore diet is not necessary. It's not better than the DASH diet. I did both. It's not better than the DASH diet. The body doesn't even need any more than 80 grams of protein. Back in the 1950s, they was eating 60 grams of protein. And everybody was lean and good looking. So, no. The carnivore diet, no. People are eating a lot of meat. Their calorie intake is high. They might be under their calorie maintenance, but all that extra protein, no. Okay, bye everybody.